Hello and welcome to my YouTube video. No. Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, which at the moment doesn't really have a name. Hopefully by the time this goes up, there will be one. Maybe I'll just dub that bit in. So, hello. Welcome back to March Payne's Midlife Dolly Crisis. And a big happy birthday to this channel because it is now a year old. Yes, I've been annoying you with videos for the last year. So I wanted a way to kind of mark it, and I wasn't really sure what to do or how to do that, something a bit special. And obviously I've already done a colour reveal doll, so I wasn't going to do that again. So a week or so ago, actually probably maybe a little bit longer, Elyse Explosion, who I adore, and I'll put a link to her channel down below and you must go check her out. She did a doll collecting tag video, and basically it is a list of questions for doll collectors to answer. So that is what I'm going to do. I will also put a link down to her video, and if any of you guys out there want to do it as well, I would say, go for it. I will also put the list of questions down below. These are not my questions. I don't think these aren't even Elise's questions. She found them. I'm not sure where. I think she mentioned it in her video, so please go and watch. I've got the questions here. She had hers on her cell phone, and I've done exactly the same thing here because it's so much easier. So the first question is, how long have you been collecting? I guess sort of a serious collection. I've only really been doing it for about a year in this instance. I have previously collected dolls, but once I've kind of got to the end of them, I've kind of stopped. So I also have a collection of Gem and the Hologram dolls from the 80s. I bought these mostly from eBay. So yeah, I kind of had a period where I was collecting those. And that was within the last 10 years, I would say. And then before then, I collected Sailor Moon dolls. And again, I kind of got to the end of them, and I kind of just stopped. So I have collected kind of sporadically, but not kind of like continuously for a huge amount of time. The second question is, what do you collect? So obviously I collect dolls. I suppose I do collect other things as well. I think sometimes you collect things you don't realise you're collecting them. So I do still buy DVDs, and I tend to buy a lot of sort of cult TV shows, sort of like cult horror movies and things like that. And I'm currently trying to collect the Doctor Who collections that they're doing. This is kind of a classic series. I kind of like nostalgic things. So obviously the classic series to me is what I grew up watching, so that's kind of what I like. I do collect CDs, so obviously I've got a CD collection as well. Vinyl I do collect. It tends to be quite kitsch stuff, and it will be stuff that I would buy from mainly like charity shops and things like that. I also still buy books on occasion, and I do also have a comic book collection. So yeah, I guess I've been a kind of collector all my life really, collecting various things here and there. Let's have a look what the question 3 is. How many dolls do you have? I have no idea, and I'm not going to count them. It's fine. I'm not that interested in how many I've got. I'm sure there are people out there that are, but I think most people just like the dolls and they don't really mind how many they've got. But yeah, it's not a big thing like, oh, I've got 10,000 dolls. I haven't got that many. It might feel like I have, but I haven't. So yeah, I don't know how many dolls I've got. Which of your collection are you the most proud of and why? I guess I'm kind of proud of having the Sailor Moon dolls because they're still in box and everything, although I have taken them out of the box and put them back in again. So I'm kind of proud of having a set. It's nice to have a set of things, but I wouldn't say I'm overly proud of them. I don't know, it's an odd question. Which of your collection are you most proud of and why? I don't know. I'm not really proud of them. I'm happy to have them. I'm happy because they make me happy. So that's good. I'm proud of this doll. It seems an odd thing to say, I suppose. Which single doll cost you the most money? No idea. I have no clue at all. I think it's probably a Blythe doll. It's probably one I've yet to open, to be honest. There's a little hint for a later video. Which doll line is your favourite to collect and why? This is tricky. I like all of them. Sometimes I like a certain range, other times I like another one. I have to admit, I loved collecting the Cindy dolls when they came out recently because I have such sort of memories of them from my childhood. So I did really enjoy that. It was also kind of nice to get them first in a way, because often these doll lines are sort of launched in America, or, you know, if it's like the Blythe dolls, they're available in Japan first. So it's nice, you know, that because I was this side of the pond, right next to the UK, you know, I was able to get them. And that is probably my favourite at the moment. But you know what, I open a new doll probably every week, and that tends to become my favourite. It's like books. What's your favourite book? And my favourite book is normally the one I've just put down and finished reading. What made you want to collect dolls? So I think I've mentioned before, quite bitterly, to you and my therapist, that I wasn't allowed to have dolls when I was growing up. So I think that basically kind of drove me to collect dolls later in life, but not to sort of such a huge extent as now, almost. I think probably YouTube hasn't helped me in that I've seen everyone else unboxing dolls and enjoying dolls and making me remember how much I liked dolls. I think it's probably a combination of not being allowed to have dolls when I was growing up and, you know, seeing other people's joy when they open their dolls and thinking, actually that's a really cute doll, I would like that. Which is your most wanted doll right now? I think right now I really want some of the Barbie Lux dolls that I still can't really get, not the price I want to pay. So we're on wave 2 of those now, and I've yet to get any of wave 2 at all. Even the first 3 that they released. Originally there was one that I wanted out of those 3, and now I think there's actually 2 that I want because I saw someone else's video about them. And then we've got the second lot of 3, and I think I want 2 from that as well. But I don't know when they're going to be available over here. So really they are probably the ones that I kind of want the most at the moment. Which of your previously most wanted dolls do you have now? So I guess probably the vintage Cindy doll. Because I always wanted dolls when I was growing up, and my cousin had a Cindy doll, and I always wanted a Cindy doll, and I wasn't allowed to have one. So actually getting a vintage Cindy doll was actually really nice for me. And yeah, I guess that is the answer to that question. There's also a Blythe doll, which I really wanted and which I now have. But again, that will probably be becoming a later video, so I'm not going to ruin that. What is the most dolls you've gotten at once? I don't know. It depends how cheap they are, because sometimes I will. I guess when I was buying fashionistas, I bought quite a few in one go, but that's because they were not expensive. But I don't know. I didn't really count how many I was getting and stuff like that. Which is your least favourite doll? I wouldn't have the doll if I didn't like it, I guess. I kind of like all of them. That's why I've got them. I don't know. If I didn't like them, I'd give them away, hopefully. I suppose I was least impressed, I suppose, by the colour reveal doll. But even that, I found aspects of it that I liked. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a least favourite doll. Which of your dolls has the best story in your life and in theirs? Again, this is kind of like the BJD thing, I think, where people do come up with backstories and, you know, they write for their dolls and things like that. I don't really do that. A lot of them have barely got names. I do want to sit down and actually name the dolls at some point. I can't just keep calling, you know, my Barbie Extra doll number 7 or whatever, because it sounds like some sort of code name. It would be nice to give them proper names. I did try and do that with my Blythe dolls, but I've had a lot of dolls since then, and I've not gotten around to naming them at all. So I would definitely like to name my dolls. But yeah, I don't really have an answer for this. Which dolls has the best story? I don't know. What do you do with your dolls? Well, I tend to just sort of like maybe dress them up and stuff like that. I don't do a huge amount with them, I suppose. What I haven't mentioned before is, obviously we've moved. I have now got a room of my own. which is kind of a study slash spare room for people staying over slash studio and, you know, slash dolly room. So at some point, hopefully, I will be able to put up some sort of shelving unit and things like that and actually have dolls on display. So that is what I would like to display my dolls. I would certainly like to display them. I feel that, you know, if you're going to have a collection, you may as well have it out. Saying that, I don't intend to have every single doll that I have out. It would be nice to be able to sort of curate the collection and then, you know, put some away and bring others out and, you know, mix it up a bit. So this is question number 14. Are there any other collections that you want to start? I don't think there is. Not really. Not that I can think of. I sometimes don't even know if you realise you're collecting something until you're halfway down the road with it. In that you might buy a few, but you don't necessarily think that it's a collection until... It's not a collection. If you buy one, if you get one, it's not a collection. But if you get more than one, it's a collection. I don't know. I don't have any intentions of collecting anything else yet. I'm quite happy collecting dolls at the moment. So, question 15. Which of your dolls would you most like to be? I don't think I want to be any of them. I guess I'm envious of the dolls who have colourful hair and don't have to keep bleaching their roots and re-dyeing. But apart from that, I don't think I'm that. I don't think I'd want to be a doll. No, I'm fine. I think I'm okay. Thank you. 16. Do people know that you collect dolls / toys? I don't tend to lead with it as a thing, I guess. I think some people can find it a bit weird that you collect dolls. That's not to say that, you know, I would hide it from anyone. But, you know, my friends know I collect dolls. That's all that matters, really. Yeah, it's not something to be ashamed of, you know. Some of my best friends are doll collectors. Number 17. Does your family support your collection? Okay, so this is kind of a leading on from question 16. So, my husband, as I've mentioned, doesn't like dolls, which isn't an issue. He's never tried to dissuade me to not buy them. And he did buy me the pregnant princess doll, who was, I was going to say Moni Love, but it's not Moni Love, is it? Steffi Love. Steffi Love. It was a Steffi Love doll. So, yeah, he's kind of supported it in that way. His sister actually got me a doll from my Amazon wish list as well for my birthday this year, so that was nice. And I will be unboxing that in a later video. What was your first doll / toy collection that you can remember? So obviously I wasn't allowed to have dolls as a child, but I did have quite a big Star Wars collection. I collected little figures and, you know, some of the ships and some of the sort of the play sets and things like that. And I was an only child, and as my husband likes to mention, I was quite spoiled probably, and I think I probably was spoiled. So I did have a lot of them, and I didn't really have any friends, so I tended to play a lot with them, and, you know, I really did enjoy Star Wars, and I still kind of enjoy Star Wars, but it's not such a huge part of my life now. But that is kind of the first collection that I had, I guess. It was Star Wars, it was the action figures and the ships and things like that. And I do still have them, at least the figures I have. They are at my mum's in storage. I wouldn't want to get rid of them. Despite the fact they're very played with, and you can see they're very played with, it's kind of just nice having something from your childhood like that, I think. Which dolls started each of your collections? So I guess for the Blythe dolls, it was the first sort of fakey doll that I got, and that started my interest in Blythe dolls. And that would have been Brooks, who I will put a picture up because she's in a box somewhere. I'll put a picture up here, and you'll be able to see her. And she is named after Louise Brooks, who I'm a huge fan of, the silent movie actress. Yeah, so she started the Blythe collection, I suppose. I then got a real Blythe later on, and I suppose the first real Blythe that I got, the real Blythe, the Takara Blythe, so we say, was Garland, who again I'll put another picture up because she's who knows where. And she's the doll that's in the card at the beginning with the title and everything. Other dolls which have started collections? Well, the Gem and the Hologram dolls, it was actually Gem that I got first. I got her in box. I'm not saying mint in box because the box I think was wrecked, but the doll was in very good condition. So I did get her first. As for other collections, I can't even remember what my first Barbie was now. I think it was actually the budget Barbie. And again, I'll probably put a picture up here of her. So she kind of started that. Number 20, what is your favourite place to shop for dolls? This is the last question. I tend to go online a lot, so I do get them online. It tends to be Amazon, but also physically buying them in a shop. I do go to Smith's Toys quite a bit, and they have a website as well. You can do click and collect if you don't particularly want to go sort of rummaging around. Sort of price-wise, it's not always cheaper to get them online. Also, you get to see them when you're in a shop, and obviously there's always eBay as well. But again, that can be tricky too. So it's just, yeah, it's kind of all over the place where I've got my dolls. So that is all the questions. Hopefully you're still awake, and if you're not, wake up. So yeah, I just wanted to say a big thank you for watching this video. A big thank you for watching all the videos. If you've sat through them all, I mean, I think, you know, your reward will be in heaven, maybe. Who knows? Also, it's been so nice to chat with all of you I've spoken with. Everyone seems so nice. Even me, sometimes. So yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who's made me feel very welcome in the doll community. And here's to another year of me opening dolls and hopefully making the world a happier place. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Please give a thumbs up, all that sort of stuff. And I will see you in the next video where I promise I will be opening a doll and not just rambling on for probably 10 hours, who knows. So until then, take care, and I will see you very soon. Bye, 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 bye.